I never imagined the day would come when the woman I loved most would betray me. My wife and I had been together for 5 years, building dreams and sharing struggles, but behind my back, she was having an affair with none other than my boss. The discovery shattered me. I found out by accident scrolling through her phone one night. There were texts, photos, and even plans for secret meetups. My heart broke, but in that very moment I knew I wouldn't let myself be destroyed. I kept silent, pretending I didn't know. Every smile she gave me, every excuse she made, I accepted with a nod. But deep inside, I was planning something much bigger than anger or confrontation. Revenge was brewing inside me. But I wanted it to be sweet, unforgettable, and one they would never see coming. At work, my boss treated me like a disposable employee. He had no idea that I knew he was sleeping with my wife. I played the role of the loyal worker, nodding at his orders, completing tasks on time, and never giving him a reason to doubt me. But as I observed him, I realized his weakness wasn't in the office, it was his daughter. She was kind, elegant, and very different from her arrogant father. We crossed paths at a company event, and to my surprise, she struck up a conversation with me. There was no arrogance in her tone, no superiority in her gaze, just genuine warmth. That night, a dangerous yet irresistible idea formed in my mind. If my boss could take my wife, I would take something far more precious from him. I began spending more time around her, not forcing anything, just being myself. She found comfort in my presence, and slowly we grew closer. To my own surprise, I wasn't just pretending anymore, I was genuinely drawn to her. She listened to me, laughed with me, and for the first time since discovering the betrayal, I felt alive again. Meanwhile, at home, my wife continued her charade. She thought I was still blind, still the faithful husband who would never suspect her late-night meetings. I let her live in her delusion, because every day that passed was bringing me closer to the perfect revenge. One evening, after months of secretly nurturing my bond with my boss's daughter, she confessed her feelings for me. That night I looked into her eyes and knew I had won, not just a game of revenge, but something deeper. We began a relationship, hidden from her father's knowledge. And within a year, she agreed to marry me. The wedding was small, private, and secret. My wife, still busy sneaking around with my boss, had no idea that I was now tied to his family in a way he would never approve. I didn't care about her anymore. She was nothing but a shadow of betrayal, while in my arms, I held the very daughter of the man who ruined my marriage. The day the truth finally came out is a memory I will never forget. At a family dinner, my boss nearly choked when his daughter introduced me as her husband. The color drained from his face. And my wife, sitting beside him, went pale with shock. She realized in that instant that I had known everything all along, and I had beaten them both at their own game. My boss tried to object, but it was too late. His daughter was an adult, deeply in love with me, and nothing he said could change her decision. He looked at me with pure hatred, but I simply smiled back. The taste of victory sweeter than anything I had ever known. My wife tried to pull me aside later, whispering that we could fix things, but I laughed in her face. Fix things? She had thrown away our marriage for a man who now looked at her as a liability. She was nothing to me anymore, and I told her so loud enough for everyone to hear. As weeks passed, my life transformed. I had not only escaped a toxic marriage, but also exposed the hypocrisy of both my boss and my wife. Now I was respected, loved, and married to a woman who truly cared for me. My boss, on the other hand, had to watch me walk beside his daughter every day, knowing I had taken what he valued most. Revenge hadn't just been served, it had been served in the sweetest way possible. And every time I looked at my wife's shocked, broken expression, I knew I had won the war she and my boss had started. My new life was just beginning, and theirs was falling apart piece by piece. But what made it even sweeter was that I had found real love in the process. What started as revenge turned into something far more powerful, healing. With my new wife, I discovered the loyalty and affection I had been searching for all along. Her presence reminded me daily that not every woman is a betrayer, and not every story ends in heartbreak. In the end, I didn't just take revenge, I found peace. My ex-wife lost everything, my boss lost his pride, and I walked away with the one thing neither of them could ever destroy, a future built on truth, love, and a sweet victory that belonged only to me.